valve 27B, which supplies waters to the rogue trader's chambers. After finishing up the maintenance, only Ordo's partner reported in. Enforcer Genervi. That's the same valve that was used to pump the blood into the bath chamber. That must be where they killed Ordo before dragging his corpse onto the deck. Quest information about the Pipe Warden's partner. At first, the cogitator feigns ignorance out of spite, pretending not to recognize your request, but after 4 more attempts, the spirit takes pity on you. Ordo's partner was Senior Pipe Warden Gwedon. Number SP26855. Gwedon has not reported for duty since the incident. We have our suspect. It looks like Gwedon killed his fellow worker and put on this entire bloody spectacle. Frotko's the one responsible for arresting the rabble, so he'll be our best candidate for shedding some light on this Gwedon character. The honored machine spirit is tired. It cannot bear any more of this torture. I see that you got what you came for, so it asks that you let the elderly have their rest. Pascal, activating the deep hibernation protocol. We back? Is something wrong? Raw. I noticed that, oh wait. The stream reset? Why did the stream reset? Stream died. That's weird. I noticed that it was saying that it was struggling to connect to chat on the UI, but I checked my internet. My internet never went down. My internet is entirely stable. Hello. I did not see you say hello. Weird. Okay. Well, in that case, just for... I'm not sure if this is going to affect the actual recording itself, or if it's going to affect the VOD, but... So, just to cover my bases. What we've effectively covered in this conversation is that the victim's name is Ordo, and his partner, Gwendon, has not reported in since his partner got killed. And also, someone accessed the computer and wiped records of the data logs and tried to prevent anyone else from accessing anything. So there's clear and deliberate sabotage, and shit is being sussy-wussy. Activating the deep hibernation protocol. Pascal's mechandrite disconnects from the Master Cogitator's data port in a respectful motion. The trill of Binhark players lulls the elderly spirit's fading lumens. May the Omnissiah bless this machine with a healing slumber, that the secret unity of its anode and cathode may be purified and shine once more. Stream died for 4 minutes. Oh, jeez. Iogan echoes with the Maedros with a quiet prayer, asperging the Master Cogitator's casing with solution from the Alembic. Well, thanks for letting me know, Ra. I appreciate it. Yeah, after stream today, I'm gonna go and buy myself an SSD. I'm not quite sure when it's gonna arrive, but maybe next week, maybe in 2 weeks. We're probably gonna have a shift in schedule due to how do I put this? Just due to the ability for us to have more games installed. We're going to be able to do more shit and be less restricted. Okay, so this is still the same. Let's look around a little bit more, though, just in case. Looking. Okay. Yeah. Because I did... Okay, so here's the thing. Like, just to make it clear how behind schedule we are. I was supposed to start Red Dead Redemption 2 after we were done with Abiotic Factor, right? But instead we ended up doing Rogue Trader, we instead started doing Trap Hang, we instead started doing Pal World and all that shit. And a big portion of that is that I just don't fucking own. Oh. Thanks, Stream Elements, for telling me that I'm live. I appreciate that. I am in fact live. Thank you. We're Yeah, we are in fact live. Thanks, Stream Element. I appreciate that. Hey Rod, did you know that we're live? Did you know that we're streaming? Alright. Wait. Wait, I just realized an issue. Because we lost the timer, I don't actually know how long we've been streaming now. Uh-oh. Fuck. Wait, I guess an hour. Okay, so we're just gonna stream. Actually, wait. Yeah, it has been an hour. Okay, yeah. I just realized because I'm fucking stupid. I can just use my computer's clock because I stream for 5 hours, so it doesn't really matter if like the stream timer itself says that it's been 5 hours. What matters is just yeah, we can just look at the clock. We don't need the countdown. Thank the God Emperor for the Lord Captain. He saved us. Another minute and they'd have broken my arm and I'd have been unable to feed my family. Aww. You don't remember? That's too bad. Not to worry. Another half watch on Solitary should refresh your memory. Oh? Oh god. Not this fucking thing. I hate this puzzle. Because it's... I don't believe there's a logical way to do it. I think you just kind of have to RNG it.
Anything to advance the quest for knowledge.
Nope. Nope. Alright, one sec. Let's just move everyone over here. Okay. Okay, and we take our protagonist. Okay. So we have this one lit up. This one's lit up. That one's lit up. If we light up this one, what happens? Okay. Now that side's lit up. Now what if we grab this one? Okay. Now all these are lit up on this side. So what if we grab you? Okay, now you're off. And you're off. No? There we go. Now you're off. I don't actually understand how this works. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. Okay, now that one turned that off. That one turns this off. I go this one now. I'm not even sure what the point of this puzzle is. I remember it was a pain in the ass, and I ended up looking up a guide for it because it's just time consuming. God. Like what? Can you just glow, please? Okay. Come on. Okay, this is taking forever. I'm just gonna reload. And we're just gonna do this. We're just gonna look up the answer. I hate puzzles like this. Like I know it's possible to figure out by just like meticulously taking notes on like which lights are affecting which parts of the level and yada yada, and you just go at it for fucking ever. But that's not That's not a puzzle at that point. That's just tedium. That's like there's nothing interesting being learned or applied. There's no creativity, there's no revelation, you're just basically filling out variables until you just get the correct answer. Let's see. Like a riddle at least is an interesting puzzle because there's something to learn there. Let's see. Rogue, trader, officer, deck, skull, puzzle. Just yep, there we go. Okay, so from here, from this angle, we go 1, 2, 3. Oh wait, no, that's not how that works. Never mind. 1 second. Okay, everything. 1 second. 1 second. That wasn't telling me the order. That was just telling me a numerical. I gotcha. I gotcha. Let's see. Let's see. Oh wow, a 30-second video on that. Yeah, that sounds perfect. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Button. Okay. So according to this, we just go over here. We press this one. Wait. Did I load the right save? 1 second. I might have loaded the wrong save. This is such a pain in the ass. This whole section. Just a giant pain in the ass.
Let's proceed, Nuncius.
Alright. Let's just stand over here. We take you. Everyone else, go stand the fuck over here so you're not in the way. We activate this. Fuck. Okay. Uh, you activate. Oh my god. Seriously? Okay, the puzzle now just permanently broke forever, so that's fun. I really hate when puzzles are like this. It's just annoying. It's horribly tedious. Okay.
Algorithms evaluated. The tech assistant comprehends my command.
No, this is the wrong save. Okay. Let's load this one again. Okay. Alright. We're gonna do this one more time. Hopefully this time there won't be any more fucking stupid issues. Alright, so we activate this. We get the tech USAC. Yep.
For knowledge. I possess both.
Great job. Lovely. Now everyone go stand over here where you're not in the way. Now from here, we go over yonder. Yes. Okay. 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 So we activate this one. We activate this one. And then we activate that one. Okay. Sure. Yeah, there we go. The holy mechanism has sent forth a revelation. The transmitted coordinates resolved to a location on one of the worlds of the Pelium Solar System. Cool. That's something to check out later. Hopefully it's cool and not something stupid. Oop. Oop. There we go. Alright, fucking shout out to Mess with the Nemo, Get the Bemo on YouTube with 2 subscribers because, holy fuck. You have any idea how many fucking guide videos are, like, unnecessarily long for no fucking reason? Real quick, to the point, 30-second video, done. Good. What do you hate, bud? What is filling the beloved Ra with hatred? Is your cyberpunk not punking cyberly? What's going on? Furnace worker. Your lordship, we didn't do it, I swear on the throne. Any enforcer who walks up to you is your new foreman, judge, and master. Pray that they don't rip your head off or you won't have anywhere to put those rations of yours. 3-click fix. Right? It always pisses me the fuck off when it's like my only option is like like whenever I have like a problem and I go to YouTube and I look for guides and like the shortest option is like 15 minutes and it just starts with someone being like, hello, this is me, this is my YouTube channel, you know, today we're going to be focusing on this guide for this puzzle. You know, if you need any other solutions to any other puzzles, feel free to check out my other videos. And they just keep going on this like really lengthy, really redundant, pointless preamble. And they just overly explain every single thing that they're doing as they're doing it. So that even if you're trying to skip forward to just get useful information, you still end up like having to just listen to them monologuing for an extensive period because it's like they don't say what the point is. They like mix it in with like 20 other sentences that don't fucking matter and don't actually have any functionality. And it's just like what the fuck, man? What the fuck? Also, let me just double check. Because again, this quest is very finicky. I've noticed this with a couple of the investigation quests in this game, where they're just very finicky for like no reason and just absolutely falling apart at the seams, and it's really easy to just get fucked and they just become completely unsolvable, or you can't get the best outcome because like not even you fail the skill check, but just because the fucking quest breaks. Like, there's an investigation we haven't gotten to yet, but you can basically fail it because if you talk to the wrong NPCs in the wrong order, you just lose the opportunity to ask them the right question. So if you just like talk to everyone to get information, which you're told to do anyway, you end up not being able to go back to them with new information, so that you just can't get to the right answer on the investigation, and you're just fucked. You're fucked because you just didn't, whatchamacallit. You're literally just fucked because you didn't, specifically metagame the investigation by already knowing the answer. It's like, it's stupid. Now, not every investigation in this game is like that, but some of them are, and it's really annoying when it is. So they've stopped thrashing you, so what? They're holding back now, but later they'll come inspecting the compartments and there'll be no stopping them. Lord Captain, he's here, but I heard he was murdered in his own gas chamber. Who's saying I was murdered? Can't say I like getting punched in the teeth, but hey, at least we get a break from work. Oh god. You know shit is bad when getting fucking police brutality is actually like something it was like, well, at least it's not more time doing my job, you know. At least it's not all bad. Like, no. Like, fucking crazy. Enforcer Hirotko. Hirotko looks on sourly as angrily bewildered enforcers attempt to interrogate Circe without resorting to violence. When he sees you, he nods nonchalantly as before, your lordship. How fares your interrogation? Satisfactory. We are maintaining fear and respect among the rabble as we go through our suspects. We'll find the culprit soon, I swear on my rank. If there's a senior pipe warden by the name of Gwedin among the suspects, escort him to me. I wish to question him. Hartko frowns as he taps on his data slate. Gwedin, yes, we have him here. He's waiting his turn. We'll bring him over at once. Jocasta Sauerbeck, I have been informed of your decision to question one of the suspects, Lord Captain. I consider it my duty to be present for the interrogation so that I may ensure your safety. Sure. Why are you bringing out a shock baton? What does this have to do with my safety? It's a fucking maintenance worker. Before you stands a gaunt man in work clothes. His face is swollen from the bruises, and several of his fingers are broken and sticking out at odd angles. He stares vacantly into the distance with watery eyes. I thought you said he was waiting his turn. Why does he look beaten half to death? Enforcer Hirako, these are merely the preliminary measures before the interrogation begins in earnest, your lordship. A suspect becomes much more inclined to speak if you give them a baton. Give them the baton for standard procedure. You don't. Oh my fucking god! Holy shit! You don't fucking beat a man until they're fucking mind broken and break several fingers, just to fucking preempt, just to fucking like pre-torture people for like no actual reason. Like, you don't even know if they're like actually a criminal yet. You don't even know if they've done anything wrong. You just fucking, you just give them a little bit of pre-torture just in case, just to smooth it over. Enforcer Hot Crow, start talking, you miserable wretch. You tried to kill the Lord Captain, didn't you? Hotko grabs the worker by the lapels. Gwyn's coat flies open, revealing crude occult symbols painted all over his body. What's this? Heretical brand? Cultist scum. Senior Pipe Warden Gweden. Gweden yells, baring what remains of his teeth. Yes, it was me. I tried to put a curse on the Lord Captain. I killed my partner in crime. A wicked ritual. Rubbed elbows with them demons, consorted with them, all to carry out a dark plot and doom the Lord Captain for the glory of my almighty master. He bursts into a fit of hysterical, theatrical cackling. Enforcer Hirotko. He's admitted to everything, the vermin. I have stated time and time again the assassination attempt was carried out by one of Voigtvir's surviving henchmen, and I was right. I guess we weren't as thorough as clearing them out as we first thought. Hirotko casts a sharp look at Sauerback. Oh, good. All right, 1 second. Let me go grab a refill on my drink. I'm big thirst. Big thirst. You know, well, fuck future Raihnama. Future Raihnama can eat a dick. because past Raihnama, being as blind as bad as I am, tried to fill up my cup with some nice iced tea. But I can't actually see, so I ended up not seeing where the fucking water line was and drastically overfilled the cup and poured iced tea all over the countertops. Future Raihnama post-stream is going to have to clean that up, but present Raihnama is going to vibe and solve crimes. Fuck Future Raihnama. Future Raihnama has to deal with all the bullshit. Alright. Logic 100%. And who is this dark and almighty patron of yours? Guiden. Logitech succeeded. Master Malachi the Dreckful Hymn, yes. You do not remember hearing a name of such a deed in the Thar. What you do remember for reports is that the name of the foreman from the Fifth Food Depot, a known miser and sadist, Malachi Dreck. Medicaid 79%. How did you kill your partner? Well, I grabbed myself a rusty saw and started hacking at him. Then I pulled out a dagger made from the virgin's bones and stabbed him. Alright, I also cursed him first. It was only right. Yeah, thanks. Some of the wounds on the victim's body could have been inflicted with a saw. There were no dagger wounds on him either. Oh, sorry, none of the wounds could have. What are those marks on you? What do they mean? These are my cultist marks, so I can put curses on people and talk to demons. He pokes a finger at an uneven semicircle with 9 arrows coming out of it. This one's called the Hame of Terror. It represents the 9 archdemons. I always pray to each one first thing in the morning. Man, this cultist is so diligent in being evil. You're impressed by this half-baked attempt at drawing the 8-pointed star of chaos. Enough with these theatrics, Whedon. You're no cultist. Why are you so intent on vilifying yourself? The man blanches and starts bawling. He gives you up on his sinister theatrics and babbles in the voice of a common worker. Forgive me, your lordship. I'm not Guiden, and I'm not a heretic. Yart's me name. I'm a laundryman. Please have mercy. They took my family, and the enforcer said she'd throw them out the airlock if I don't confess. She made me draw these unholy marks on myself. Oh no, not Yart. Not poor Yart. Abelard casts a significant glance in Sourback's direction. Your enforcers have a knack for persuasion, Mistress Sourback, but this is ridiculous. Enforcer Rocco. What enforcer? Name. Give me her name. Yart. Ginevre. Her name was Ginevre. The failed heretic raises his hands to his face, and you see many purple bruises. They're older than the others by several hours. He was evidently beaten long and hard, and he would have been screaming the whole time. Someone must have witnessed it. Ginevre. The steely edge in Sourback's voice causes everyone present to freeze, but you also hear a note of bewilderment. You'll deal with her later. I will handle the search for Guiden myself, Lord Captain. Would you have us execute this demon worshipper? Why would we execute a man who literally hasn't done anything wrong and is the result of corrupt cops? Cut his rations for a month and have him for... Why? Burn him and his family along with him. Be sure to leave him for last. What the fuck? Dogmatic, hang the heretic. Even farcical symbols and mentions of the archenemy are capable of drawing corruption. No. Iconic, spare the man, watch off those heretical symbols, and let him rejoin his family. It will be done. Lord Captain, the evidence you have collected is sufficient to apprehend the suspect. I will report you to the mess hall, and we shall bring an investigation to the close. Alright. I think we got the best outcome here. Maybe.
Let's take a look.
Maybe, hopefully. Hopefully. Alright. One more save, just to make sure. There we go. Oh, 1 second. Lord Captain, the real Pipe Warden Gwyn has been found and is being escorted here as we speak. Are there any remaining questions you wish to address before we hear from Gwyn himself? Someone attempted to mislead our investigation. We cannot let this go without consequences. Undoubtedly. Let us go over the facts we have on the sabotage and compile them. The body of the deceased was mutilated after death. It is likely that the nature of the injuries would have proven very useful in the investigation, and that the perpetrator concealed them for that very reason. Someone sabotaged the work log cogitators so that it would be harder for us to find the victim's partner, who might have information valuable to the investigation. Instead, the murdered man's partner, we were given a fool, one who thoroughly incriminated himself first before admitting that Captain Ginevri had put him up to it. Sarbat glowers at Ginevri as she pales with fear. Suspect Yart claims that you coerced him into lying about himself, Ginevri. What do you have to say for yourself? Enforcer Ginevri, I may have conducted his preliminary interrogation like so many others. Hrotko requested my assistance because of my experience in dealing with the rabble, but I swear there's no truth to these accusations against me. The transcript says that you conducted Yart's interrogation alone. Why is that? Because I can handle a single laundryman? Ginevri raises her chin proudly. That's not something to be taking pride in. If you as a fucking cop in body armor can take on a guy who does laundry professionally, that's not... Come on. Who was guarding the body? It was Ginevri. Klein reluctantly nods at his fellow enforcer. I relieved her when I came to inspect his corpse, which by then had already been cut up. Ginevri nervously adjusts her armor under Sauerbeck's piercing gaze. The corpse was already looking like that when it came under my purview, but I could not get the name of the officer who discovered it. The deck was such a mess that I decided I would deal with it later. Who had access to the work log cogitator? Sauerbeck. The tech priest did not let anyone near the cogitator. They even tried to prevent the informer's investigation. Ginevri, were you there the entire time? Enforcer Ginevri. Yes, ma'am. Since the start of the watch, I went there right away after I handed the body over to Klein. The only time I stepped away was to retrieve the data slate from my quarters. I left a watchman, but he went missing. Most likely, one of the officers did not realize he was on duty and sent him off on some errand. But I was only gone for a few minutes. Enforcer Hrotko. Very convenient. A missing sentry, a data slate misplaced against regulations. Hrotko drums his fingers on a holster on his belt, where his own data slate sits tightly nestled. I don't understand how I could have forgotten it. I always check my own gear when I go on duty. A bloody synth coat was discovered not far from the corpse. I would ask the enforcers in this room to present their coats. The rustle of synthetic fabric fills the room. All the enforcers show their coats, except Hrotko. He shrugs complacently under the gaze of his comrades. I do not wear it. An enforcer must be able to withstand the cold, and the serfs treat synth coats as a sign of weakness. Hrotko, this is all you're doing, is it not? Tharaback draws her auto pistol and points at Hrotko, who appears entirely unperturbed. I will give you one chance to retain your last shred of honor and confess. You sabotaged this investigation. Why? Enforcer Hrotko, is it not obvious? Hrotko smugly arches an eyebrow. To expose the conspiracy to myself and to prove your incompetence to his lordship. To take the place I actually deserve. For years I toiled for the good of the dynasty. But when the Forster Master at Arms was killed, I was refused my promotion. Instead, they gave the position to you, a self-serving Sauerback nit. I guess a noble name means more than talent. When this crime occurred, I realized it was my chance to show what I was worth, while you were busy dallying. I quickly learned the name of the suspect, diverted the course of the investigation, an easy enough task, and began looking into the real Goyden. Had I found him in time, your position would have already been mine, Jocasta. Simply listen to yourself, and you'll understand why they made me Master at Arms, Lord Captain. I request permission to dispose of this refuse personally. Hako, were you really hoping you could see the Master of Arms at me? Your dismissive tone makes Rocco flinch with indignation. I had every chance, but you're shrewder than I expected. My little trick with the body did work. You still don't know who was behind it all, that I have already figured it out. I hid Guidon from you by damaging the cogitator and delivering you a fake, an idiot willing to incriminate himself out of fear. I even prepared a contingency plan in case he cracks by making sure you would blame someone else. Yes, there were a couple of slip-ups, but you must admit, it was a solid attempt overall. Why were you trying to frame Genevri? A backup plan. You always need someone to blame if you make a mistake. Krotko's voice sounds calm, even casual. I could have framed Klein, but that young upstart was already galloping through the ranks too fast. It was clearly aiming for my station. Besides, she and her thick-witted subordinate were always right where I wanted them to be. You do not seem to fear punishment. With all due respect to your lordship, I am an enforcer. I have looked death in the eye, and I'll accept your judgment with dignity. You're a liar and a blackguard, but I commend you for your intelligence. I have no need for such enforcers, but I could use another spy. You'll sow confusion among my rivals for the good of the dynasty. That's actually kind of funny. Krotko, for your crimes of sabotage, slander, and heresy, I hereby condemn you to death. Master at Arms, carry out the sentence. What does this give us? Triumph of Justice. Your flagship's shield strength and evasion are increased by 5%. Ooh. Iconoclast, I'll give you a chance where you'll be demoted and become an initiate at the shrine where you spend the rest of your days in penance and servitude. Nah. Now you can become a spy. No, actually, this dude is too stupid to be a good spy. We're gonna execute you. Oh, that's... She is not making it fast. Holy fuck, she is not making it fast. Krotko tries to speak, but his words are cut off by a devastating blow to the jaw. He collapses to the ground, but Sarabak raises the maul again and delivers another blow, this time straight to his ribs. She stretches out the pleasure, slowly crushing his bones and savoring every scream. When she's done, she finally allows the bloody mess that was once Krotko to die where it lies. The Rose Warden gains the ability Triumph of Justice, Dogmatic +3. Power deck. That takes care of the traitor. Now let us proceed with interrogating the Pipe Warden. Senior Pipe Warden Gwyn. The Pipe Warden does his best to remain reverentially bowed, which paints a rather comical picture given his formidable height and complexion. He lowers his head, tugging at his beard. Senior Pipe Warden Gwyn. Honored to serve, Lord Captain. I'm ready to confess to everything. Did you kill your mutant partner? Senior Pipe Warden Gwyn. I didn't kill him, and I didn't know he was a mutant. Ordo and I always got along, even if he wasn't much for talking. But then... He shudders. I served him death came from the darkness, ended him quickly but harshly. She bled him dry and put a black feather in his throat. She told me to pump blood into the pipes, and then she left. I wanted to confess, but I was afraid she would come for me too if I did. Whom do you mean by the servant of death? A holy slayer in black and crimson and bone. Feared by all, they are quiet and merciless as death itself. They have come from the shadows to kill because the Emperor commands them so. Your stack of sourback. You've already met the servants of the Bloodspun Web, Lord Captain. Their grim procession is not one the upper decks will soon forget. You're the real Pipe Warden Gwyn, are you not? I am, and I'm proud of it, Lord Captain. A Pipe Warden's craft is hard work. By necessity, my number is SP26855. My work partner was the Light Ordo, number SP24601. I oversee the water supply systems at the upper deck, sectors A3, K8, and R2. This includes Valve 27B. Sarabak, there can be no mistake. I have verified his identity myself. It has also been confirmed by other workers. Why did you fill my bath with blood? I did as the servant of death commanded. She said the Emperor gave this first spinner a sign, that your lordship should be bathed in the blood of poor Ordo, my partner, and I, well, he gulps, I was scared, so I obeyed. Sourback. The first spinner? Are you talking about the vizier of the blood-spun web? Gwyn. Yes, that's him. He leads the death cultists, the lot who worship the Emperor by killing. His spinners hunt down heretics, but sometimes they take righteous lives too. Their service is mysterious, fervent, and bloody. Cabela. If the vizier's orders it, there must have been a reason. The Undying One must have revealed something to him that we're ignorant of. Summon the vizier of the blood-spun web. I wish to hear his explanation. As you wish, Lord Captain. Gwydon. Your lordship, if I may ask, what happens to me now? I never meant to anger you. I thought I was doing as the Emperor willed it. But here we are. I'm a simple man. I know pipes. I know them a lot better than all this people business. My eyes aren't what they used to be, but I can still smell rust and metal, though not as much as people's thoughts. Yet as a true son of the Emperor would, I will have you provided with the best ocular implant for your work. You were deceived into becoming an accomplice. I will not punish you. Give him lashes. You drench the rogue trader in blood. Do you expect to simply walk away afterward? I think not. Hang this gun. No, you can have implants. Senior Pipe Warden Gwydon, thank you from the bottom of my heart, your lordship. I will serve you faithfully, and I will never forget your mercy. The vizier of the blood-spun web treads lightly and silently, as if his old, gaunt body has no weight at all. He whispers weakly. Doman Valentine willed to see me, and so I have come. Nod respectfully. I have summoned you to discuss the actions of your apprentices. The vizier responds with an equally respectful manner. Let their deeds be weighed. Sourback. Investigation has established that the blood-spun web orchestrated an attack on his lordship by means of pouring unholy blood into his bath. This affront. Vizier. The old man's murmur drowns out Sourback's relentless voice. Doman Valentine knows the truth, so it was done. For so I did will. It was no affront, but a prophecy. From my hands to divine, unsullied martyrs offered their souls and bodies to his imperishable embrace. I gazed unto the red rivers of their unsmouldering lives, and I did see a roiling, unclean, staining the bays, reaching for the anointed Lord of the Ark. In my apprentice's last sighs, I heard the undying God's one's whispers. He bid me bathe the Doman in the blood of he who must go, and they who have been righteous. For this will shield the Doman, and strengthen his body against the roiling unclean. I obeyed. Cabela, did you know about this? When I saw the wounds made by the hand of a fellow believer, I guessed, but the vizier chose not to warn you, and so it was not my place to do so either. If there had been a plot against you and a knife aimed at you, I would have given you some sign, but the vizier means you no harm. He is your servant, and where your other subjects' threads are clear and straight, his lie in the shadows of hints and secrets. Trust him as I do. Alright. The man you killed, who was he? I know not. I heard only the name, and I knew he must go. He listens to the empty space above his shoulder and nods. Yes, we need more knowledge than that. You claim that you did it because the God Emperor willed so. Vizier of the blood-spun web, I speak now, and draw breath. I speak, move, and draw breath because he wills so. I defy not the Undying One, neither in life that gives and takes, nor in my living existence. What do you mean by the roiling unclean? He did not reveal, but it is corruption itself. It offends him. It tastes as sweet as fetid waters in old pipes. Its promises are the deception of an enforcer's smile. Its face is elusive. Master at Arms, are you convinced that we have found the culprits? The situation is clear, your lordship. Tharabak makes the sign of the Aquila. The Emperor has sent us a portent. The Master of Mankind guides the hands of his holy servants to guard us and warn us of hidden threats. Argenta. God Emperor, I thank thee for protecting us, even though there are instruments of your protection whose purity and holiness I may never understand. Could it be a coincidence that the victim of the ritual was a genetic aberration? The officers around you keep a respectful silence, but you can tell by their faint smiles that they find the very idea of doubting the Emperor's providence absurd. The cult of the blood-spun web will face no persecution for their deed. The Vizier freezes, listening to silence, then nods to nothing. Yes, yes, I will tell him. He turns his stone-shut eyes to you once more. We are seeds in your hands, giver of life. Whether you keep us or scatter us, we will remain grateful. Sourback, be that as it may, we have hit a dead end. We hoped that exposing the culprits would lead us to the aberration's lair. Let the blood-spun web find the mutants breeding on my ship. Vizier of the blood-spun web. But no spinner or brave warrior from the Dalman Circle can find the roots of the unclean, for it can appear as human and act as human. Only its thoughts betray its vile nature. Only the thoughts are never human. Wise. Anxious silence follows the moment Sourback says this one word. She narrows her eyes. Is it unclean thoughts we need to find? Very well, let Wise find them. He knows how, no matter how badly he wishes the rest of us forget about it. Vizier of the blood-spun web. Venny Zachary is a fearsome hunter. When he hunts the flagship whales, when he thinks, my teeth creak. I can feel pain as if I am young again, but his power is great indeed. He can hunt down our prey. How can the choir master of the Astropaths be of use to us? The esteemed Zachary Wise can perform the ritual of thought reading. This practice lets him do cursory examination of the minds of thousands of people in search of certain individuals. A ritual as rare as it is dangerous, and only someone as versed as Master Wise can accomplish such a feat. Has Wise done something like that before? Once, Lady Theodora made use of his service to expose spies on board, who apparently had been in the employ of Lord Inquisitor Calcazar. Correct me if I am wrong, but it seems not everyone here is eager to leave this matter to Master Wise. I would say the one least eager will be Master Wise himself. Last time, his efforts caused some severe warp manifestations. The ritual truly is perilous. Abelard. Not to put too fine a point on it, Wise nearly destroyed the ship back then. Incidentally, he had given us multiple warnings that it could happen. Lady Theodora ignored him, and we reaped the results. So, why do I get the feeling that I know what will happen next? That's all, Master-at-Arms. Your duty is done. I give you leave to wrap up the investigation on the officer's deck. Sourback, my duty will be done when the threat is eliminated. I will brief the enforcers while you consult Choir Master Wise, your captain. Lord Captain. Alright. Time to go get fucked. Wait, why am I... Wait, I need to stop doing that. I keep instinctively opening up the fucking map, because I forget that, like, all this shit is just on the ship itself. We don't need to leave for any of this. Alright. To the choir we go. Astropathic Chapel, there we go.
Of course, rogue trader.
Zachary Wise. Choir Master Wise turns towards you long before you reach him. A chill runs down your spine as if someone were watching you from within your own being. You summon your will and drive out the unpleasant sensation. The choir master smiles sadly. You shroud your mind well, your lordship, and yet I can guess why you've come. With all due respect, I'm asking you to reconsider. So you'd rather not take part in the search for the mutineers? It is my wish to be useful for your lordship, but what you have come for, it will put the ship in peril. A ritual of this kind uncertainly will go the worst way possible. Your predecessor came to me with the same orders once. Nothing good came out of it. Please believe me, Lord Captain. When I say a mountain of corpses is the least of the problems we faced that time. So you say you've performed the ritual before for Theodora? Many years ago. It was a time when Lady Theodora had become anxious. Perhaps the Lord Inquisitor's interest in her affairs adversely affected her. Shall we say, trust in her own subjects. She was expecting a betrayal, and eventually her paranoia brought her to me. I performed the ritual, but the choir ceased to exist. Blood. I remember that day, Lord Captain. When we arrived at the chapel, there was blood and human remains everywhere, but it was the least of the terrifying things we saw there. What is the nature of this ritual? It takes the entire choir's power to invade such a prodigious number of minds at once. I weave their voices into a chord and steer it into the murky sea of other people's souls. Together we read tens of thousands of thoughts, emotions, and intents, looking for the thing we are after, the seed of corruption you're interested in. Why are you so worried about the ritual? Lord Captain, do you know the proverb about staring too long into the abyss? What you are asking for is tantamount to plunging the entire choir into that abyss. A ritual like that will require incredible focus from each of its participants. It will take a single careless thought, a single glance in the wrong direction, for the way back to be lost. Human minds fusing into one another, vitrified organs inside still living bodies, perverse fantasies manifesting in the flesh. Nothing will stop the horrors of the warp from spreading all over the ship in the blink of an eye. And even if I agreed, it would be impossible. I would need a second powerful telepath as a defender to shield my mind. The last time, my best apprentice, Adeline, did that, but she's no longer with us. She's exceptionally talented, rivaling even myself. Now I know only one Psyker in the entire expanse who is her equal, but he is bound to the services of one of House Winterscale's planetary governors, and thus unavailable to us, which makes your dangerous enterprise an impossibility. I see. That is the harsh truth, your lordship, and must not be done. We can find a Psyker who will help you perform the ritual. And who is it? The choir master's smile, though courteous, seems ever so sarcastic. You mentioned knowing a powerful Psyker employed by the Winterscales. Who is he? Master Harriman is a seasoned telepath, but his lord would never part with such an incredibly valuable specialist. A sizable amount of money would be necessary to organize Master Harriman's escape. It'll take 3 profit factor to do that shit. Well, we're gonna do it. As you please. Master Harriman will welcome the news of his forthcoming release. His present lord is quite unpleasant. I'll report back once Master Horion has been brought on board. Alright. So for the time being, that is the end of this investigation. Or, well, it's not really the end. It's more of just, we have to take a break. Which means we can start on the other expedition, which is a lot more silly. It involves, being a cute girl. I'm not actually joking. Lord Captain... Wait, where's... Bridge, there we go. Hey, Ra, how do you feel about faces? Actually, yeah, faces. Let's see. I guess personal cogitator. Did we not do that? 1 second, let me go to the throne room real quick. I could have sworn we already did this. Let me just go spam through the options again real quick. Neutral? I see. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Let me head on over. Use the cogitator. Like, I'm pretty sure we've already done this. Let me just... Yep. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I guess we just... I know we already did that last stream. I don't know why. I guess I must have loaded the wrong save or something. Alright, back to the bridge. Well, it's unfortunate that you're neutral about faces, because where we're going is a place that really likes faces. One might even say that it likes faces a little bit too much. a little too much enjoyment of faces, one might say. I guess, however, we'll have to face the facts. The facts will be faced. Get it? Because there's to be faces. Face. Go to Sastra. A lot of quests. Alright. Let's go here first, because it's right next to us. The ancient decks were transformed into exotic gardens. Several chambers sprouted foliage vaguely resembling the plants on Terra, although they exhibited a glass-like surface polished to a mere sheen. While reflections in the plants perfectly copied the surrounding objects, they did not show a single living being. Those who peered into them saw grotesque, blood-covered creatures instead, not unlike a bloated abyssal fish with a pair of clawed limbs, sometimes more. Unable to destroy the sinister growth, the voidsman covered it with plasteel hoods until leaving the immaterium, finally ridding the vessel of corruption. Gotta fix my posture, though. What's wrong with your posture? By the God Emperor's grace, no perils of the war prevented the vessel from taking its path. Let me see what you're sending me. How to fix bad posture. True. You gotta add a collar to that too. Collars also help with posture. Indeed. Overgrown trees and ivy-colored roots conceal an ancient biodome nestled in one of the crevices. It would have been impossible to locate this place without the precise coordinates from the armillary sphere. Explore the biosphere. The biodome. The structure is in a state of gross disrepair. Creepers cover the wall and ceiling, and pungent flowers and berries hang from beams and equipment alike. The center of the structure reveals a sealed chamber where vegetation has yet to break through. Inside is a humble bunk. A decayed body sprawled over it. Tables with blueprints, parts, and tools, and a great number of chests containing treasure. Examine the room and the body. Judging by the dead man's clothes, the diary pages, and the monograms on the blueprint, you realize that you found the final resting place of the legendary captain Bartholomew Ort. During his long and adventurous life, he traveled the entire expanse, mapping out numerous star systems. In his later years, realizing his life's work, the armillary sphere that he imbued with the sum of his knowledge. The device on his ship is undoubtedly his creation. While the Adeptus Mechanicus were still hotly debating whether or not he had committed the crime of invention, Bartholomew disappeared without a trace, leaving only a single message. I have gathered treasures from hundreds of worlds, but they will not be handed over to the covetous lords of the expanse. Instead, I bequeath my riches to the one who cherishes to shine in the stars more than any gold or rubies. It seems like you happen to be this very person. Take the treasures. Personal sake, absolutely. The shuttle's hold is bursting with untold riches. You leave this forgotten dome at the mercy of the invading wilderness and its inhabitants. Items received: Tamer of the Empyrean. If psychic phenomena are perils of the warp are triggered, the wearer gains +1 psi rating. That's really useful. Death Cult Blade. Ooh. Stolen Breath. Whenever the wearer's ally dies, their wounds drop to 0 in combat. The wearer immediately gains +5 weapon skill and +5 ballistic skill until the end of combat. In addition, if the wearer has Conviction Heretic, they gain +10 toughness stacks. Holy shit, okay. That is actually really strong. Damn. Alright. Let's see. Silent Verdict. Yeah, this is stronger, I think. Alright. Now, let's go face the music. Oh ho 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 ho. Or at least try to. It's gonna be a little awkward to get there. We're gonna have to do some traveling. Uh-oh. The officers in one of the lower decks stopped providing status reports. 3 days had passed since the Vox system broadcasted anything other than the subdued moans. Wait, let me rephrase. Let me reread this. 3 days had passed since the Vox system broadcasted anything other than subdued moans and wet slapping noises. An enforcer squad sent to investigate reported that the denizens at the lower levels had regressed to animals and succumbed to depravity. The connection to the squad was shortly lost. The high missionary of the Adeptus Ministorum became flushed with fury and condemned these as designs of the archenemy. The hotbed of heresy was cleansed with fire and prayer. Oh no, they were all fucking. Oh, that's terrible. Oh man, I can't believe that everyone was fucking super hard for days straight. Oh man. That's terrible. I can't believe that happened. By the God Emperor's grace, no perils of the warp prevented the vessel from returning to real space. Yeah. I can't believe all that fucking happened. That's terrible. Your Lordship. Master Harriman succeeded in his escape and has arrived on board. He has almost completed the ritual of harmonization with the rest of the choir, which has given our voices greater strength and cohesion. We have made our preparations. We're awaiting your arrival to start the ritual as soon as you give the order. You're in your chambers enjoying some long-awaited rest when you're struck by a strange sensation. Something at the level of animal instinct. The doors seem to be locked and no one could have entered your chambers without your knowledge, and yet you're not alone. Uh-oh. What's going on? Is that a fucking Necron Lord? Fucking excuse me? Why is there a Necron in our ship? A natural silence reigns in your chambers, the dust motes hanging frozen in the air before you. The candle flames cease to flicker, and 2 enforcers who came to check your quarters stand still as statues, all in stark contrast to the other silhouette, one who is utterly unlike anything else in the room. A massive inhuman figure, forged entirely from dark metal, stands towering in the middle of your chambers. Despite your arrival, the uninvited guest's attention seems to have been entirely captured by the trophies on the wall of your study.
Quite interesting. The only item of note in this worthless heap. But what is the genesis? The originating cause? A definitive answer would require more thorough research. But the testimony of even a primitive creature will serve. You. Where on the ship did this object come from? What do you know of its provenance?
Which object do you mean? I'm not going to be mean to the fucking Necron Lord. If a Necron can speak to you, be very fucking polite to them and do whatever the fuck they ask of you. If they cannot speak to you, just start shooting and run. In that order. Actually, no. In order, run and shoot while running. But if they can talk, running isn't going to do shit. Which object do you mean?
Is testament to how the ancient enemies of my kind were defeated at the hands of your primitive people. Do you know how this object came to be here and why it occupies a place of such honor?
That item belonged to my predecessor. She is dead.
Transience of life forms like yours leaves the precious knowledge being carried off into the abyss of history yet again.
Yeah.
I can see this is a dead end for further research. Since you have proven useless for my inquiries, I am ending this pointless conversation. Farewell, human.
A moment later, the strange atmosphere in your chambers dissipates, and your frozen enforcers stir into motion once more, exchanging bewildered looks. The pair hastily makes a sign of the equivalent and haltingly mumble words of greeting, clearly ignorant of what just transpired in these quarters. Interesting. One sec, let me go into options real quick and just sound, master volume up, music up. Sound effects can be quieter, I think. Maybe a little bit louder. There we go. Yeah, that was weird. Fucking whole ass Necron just on my ship. Permission to report. Your proctor has arrested my voidsman and is demanding his execution. A repeat offender, he says, please do something, Lord Captain. Who's the voidsman? One of mine. Not as big of an idiot as the rest of the idlers. He understands the control systems. He can make sense of the readouts. Him, a repeat offender. Bring the detained man to me immediately. I will personally interrogate him. Consider it done, Lord Captain. Lord Captain, I beg you to look into this outrage. This cyber horror nearly chewed up my assistants, and one of them's been left without two of his fingers. Instead of calming his beast, the arbitrator attacked my crewman. Solomon waits for the end of Master Helmsman's words and coolly turns to you. His crewman is a wanted man, rogue trader. He's accused of subverting sacred tithe shipments, smuggling and kidnapping the Imperium subjects, and bribing officials. Were we not on your flagship, I would have executed the heretic on the spot, but here you are the authority, and you are the court. Ravor, did you know about this? Ravor, if I went around sticking my beak into the past of every one of the hundreds of people in the crew, I wouldn't have time to steer your ship. All I know is that when everything went to grok shit on Raikai and Minoras, this one oversaw the work at the docks, so that fools didn't trample each other to death in their panic. And later he ran into a friend at the port on Footfall, and they found us some parts within a day. He's even got arms growing out of the right places. He might even make it to junior helmsman if he keeps it up. So, Lemoyne, why are you so certain this is the man you're seeking? Because I was personally involved in tracking down and purging the shadows of the Abyss crime syndicate to which the perpetrator belongs. The case was in Calaxis, on the world of Helvica Prime, but for arbitrators, time and distance do not mitigate guilt. The man before you is the former captain of a smuggling ship owned by the Syndicate. Check the heretic's left arm. Every Syndicate member has a distinctive implant by which they recognized each other. It was that implant signature that Glyto picked up on in his patrols. How did a criminal from Claxus find its way onto my ship? He was among the servants sent to you by Governor Medina. Of course he was. Accused, do you have anything to say? The long-haired voidman flinches when you address him. Your lordship. The governor of Helvica Prime was a scumbag who abhorred the light of the God Emperor. The things he did to the people under him. We only survived by stealing from him, or else we'd end up in a corpse pit. Like 1 in 4 did after the distribution station accident. But once I'd got out of there, that was it. I was out of that business for good, and then I found myself at your service. I realized it was a gift of fate. I'd be a fool if I didn't repay good fortune with my wholehearted toil. I have made my decision. Now wait your orders, rogue trader. The master helmsman shoots a look of naked dislike at Solomon. Let's see. Ravor is your responsibility. Should you ever commit any deeds, you'll answer to them. You will gain capable hands. Less scrap to repair the void ship. Ooh. Very nice. Do not trust this man to remain in the crew, but I cannot allow its challenge. Hand him over to the Factorum. Yeah, let's go with Ravor's idea. Let's Lord Captain. Lord Ravor's disgruntled grimace momentarily dissipates. There we go. This case is closed. With your permission, I will turn to my duties. Yep. Have fun. Alright. I kind of want to go and check on the, what's-her-face? The, scavengers real quick. It's been a while. I'm worried that if I wait too long, they're gonna all fucking die on me. So let me see. Where was their ship? Recall Ligger's plot. Yeah, let's just create something from over here, all the way over. And let's make it safe. Visit. Oh. Okay, so it seems like they finished with it. That's cool. The workers and servitors hastily fled the empty decks. Your people will need time to fully dismember the old ship, and until then, this forgotten hunk of metal belongs to the Von Vladzis dynasty. Nice. Cool. Alright, so I guess that was just the ending of the arc. Weird. Alright, let's go back to where we were. And what was up here? Yeah. Now, did we check out this place once we got here? I don't remember. No, we didn't. Ooh, somewhere we can land. Uh-oh. I recognize these runes.
This master-crafted patella.
I offer up my thanks to thee, O Messiah, for granting me the ability to serve you as a predator whose prey is knowledge.
Uncover the pattern. Sure. What's over here?
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Oh my god. It's not really anything at all. Terrifying.
Cast your eye there.
Mm-hmm. If I recall, this puzzle was kind of confusing and a bit of a pain in the ass to do. But I might not recall properly. So I guess we'll find out. Alright, activate the pedestal.
My ears are ringing.
The Krovs. Okay. We redirect the energy beam. Okay. Keep going. Cracked Vox. A furious male voice is coming from the old Vox. This is Captain Trevor Doonhouse, calling the Boolean. Get your asses back to the surface and get me out of here, you shits. My guts may be fused to my suit, but I'm not dead yet. No matter how much you wish it were otherwise. A moment later, the raging tone gives way to a strangled rasping. Hey, can you hear me? Respond. I'll pay double. Just don't leave me here, damn it. It was going so well. We even figured out how to open the first sphere thanks to the pattern on the floor. Yeah, who knew there'd be so much trouble with the second one? I didn't. They didn't either, cowards. The moment that beam was directed back, I was already lying with my guts turned inside out, and they were running off with my goods. Oh, enter, you whoreson. Why'd you have to leave me like that? I'm scared. Oh, yes. No, I don't want to die. Not alone. Aren't you supposed to watch over all your children? Quiet, you lot. Shut it already. I can't even hear myself. The recording is silent for a few moments. All you can hear is the sound of someone pounding on the shell of a void suit with a recording device. I'm cold. I wonder if I'll die from the lack of oxygen. Or will my organs give out earlier? The damned god, the damned Imperium. In the end, you'll all serve the true masters. The human speech gradually deteriorates into an indecipherable mixture of howling and clicking sounds. Oh god. Well, that's horrific. It seems the pattern no longer works. Interesting. Okay, so we go from here to here. And then from here to here. Yeah. And then here to here. And then here to here. And then from here to here. And that works. Huh. Yeah, I don't recall why I thought that puzzle was difficult. Or not difficult, but like an issue. It seems quite fine. And we got a new sword out of it. Empty jaws. Weird. Alright. Well, cool new sword. Let's take a look at it. Ancient Force Sword. The damage is really nice. Whenever the wield suffers energy, fire, power, or warp damage, the sword absorbs the part of that damage, reducing it by 0 by psi rating. Now, so it kind of requires you to have psychic powers in order to realistically do anything for you, but ooh, look at how glowy it is. Even if it doesn't necessarily have its strongest aspects attached to it, it's still just a better sword at baseline than what I've got. Let's get out of here. Because this place is creepy as shit. This lone mountain chain is composed entirely of a mineral with a shiny mirror-like surface. The mineral itself has no particular value for production, but its properties make this place incredibly beautiful. The sky is brilliantly reflected in the many surfaces of the plateaus, oddly shaped rocks, stone arches, and columns. The view is especially stunning on clear starry nights, or when aurora trails dance in the sky. The enraptured crew have asked the Lord Captain's permission to visit this remarkable place. Hmm. Oddly shaped. Fine, you can have shore leave. The shore leave passed without incident, yet the ship officers talked about it for weeks afterward. Even the Xenos Juliet marveled at the rock columns, sprinkled with reflective stars. She even deigned to speak with the other officers, telling them the place reminded her of Grimdark, her homeworld. Oh, that was actually kind of cute. That was just a nice little experience for everyone. As soon as you draw close to the unknown ship, it points its loaded cannons directly at you. Several other ships emerge from the shadows and drifting asteroids, tightly encircling you. Captain Xanthra Labouche offers a mocking greeting and a proposition. You can buy your way out of this, but the price must be left to her soul's satisfaction. The outrageous suggestion sends your crew into a fury. You're in a no-win scenario, and you can enter an uneven fight and lose everything, or shamelessly pay to save your skin, sacrificing only your pride. Attack first. Let's just do our best here. Okay. Honestly, this doesn't seem that bad. Yeah, it's really, honestly, pretty fine, all things considered. Let's just start shooting. Swap out to fighters. Let's shunt to the side a bit. Wow, that ship took a lot of damage with no real issues, huh? A little further forward. There we go.
An opportunity to exploit.
Boarding party on the Falchion over in the distance. That'll mess it up a bit. Yeah, there we go. And then let's move this around here. Create our fighter crews. And you're going to want to buff this guy up. And there we go. Bam forward. And then our fighters can move in over onto their flank. Damage up the shields even more. Oh no, they're trying to get away. That's hilarious, considering they're the ones that ambushed me. They're already trying to flee. That's gonna go well for them. Okay. I think it's... yeah, new heading is the ability I want. Let's kneel them around in a nice big circle. I think this is one of the very few situations where I actually just want torpedoes instead. So let's do that. And then we're going to... boarding party on the most distant ship. Just get some ship damage in on all these ships. There we go. That we're not liable to shoot at first. Oh, that's another one down. And then go into the flank. Alright. Oh god, they're just getting their asses kicked. This actually just feels like bullying at this point. How the fuck did those torpedoes barely do any damage to it? What? Oh, whatever. For some reason. There we go. Let's just start shooting. Oh no, they're trying to retreat. That's really cute, honestly. Let's go hit him with a boarding crew again. I don't think they're going to survive long enough to even have a chance to attempt to retreat. If we go here, right, then we can hit him with a flanking shot. Yeah, then we just blow him up. Sure. Alright. That was really cozy. Alright. Now from here, we just gotta blap. Let's make the travel safe, shall we? We gotta get to our criminal investigation after all. Alright. Lord Captain, We received a voxcast from Thasera. The signal quality is rather poor, but the meaning is clear. The world is expecting your lordship's arrival. Great festivities have been arranged, and a delegation led by the planetary governor is ready to give you a welcome worthy of an honored guest. Hey, look, a destroyed ship. Scrap box, nice. Amidst the lifeless rocks and lava lakes, the ship's augurs have detected something resembling buildings. There's something off with their outlines, but their presence in and of itself suggests there might be something valuable to discover among the ruins. Send a scouting team. Scouts were able to discern symbols of the Imperium on the buildings, deformed and fused together by high temperatures. The ore mining structures tell a sad story centuries ago. The planet and all its riches perished beneath the radiance of the system's expanding sun. Aw. Yeah, the sun does seem really big in the setting. Promethium. Do we need Promethium? I don't think we do. Yeah, we have fuckloads of Promethium. We have way too much Promethium. Right. Alright, let's go to the magical Faceland then, shall we? Land of Faces. Where faces are very desirable. I think this is the Faceland. I might be wrong. Yeah, this is Faceland. Pascal, you can stay behind. Geez, these bots are a pain in the ass. I'm so glad that we've got Wisebot here to just fucking autoban all of these bots. Yeah, I really like this level. This level's cool. Yeah, you really don't. It's all taken care of. I occasionally see the message for a fraction of a second, but a lot of the times it's just I see the block before anything's even happened. But look, they have faces here. Isn't it great? Literally, they have faces sewn onto their flesh where their faces would be. It's it's a thing, without a doubt. Governor Rualdo, a richly dressed man riding a sinewy horse, breaks off from the procession. When he approaches, you immediately notice a strange detail. The man's face is pinned to his head with precious fastenings that stretch the skin across his skull. Celestial guests, there is no higher honor for us than to extend our hospitalities to such noble eminences. His Celestial Highness, the rogue trader, and an illustrious judicator from the Imperium. All of Thessera clamors, trembles, and cheers. Rauldo, the fair-faced governor of Thessera, at your service. I thank you for your courteous welcome, Governor. However, we have come here to address a grave concern. But of course, Your Celestial Highness, it would be my pleasure to discuss whatever topics you have at hand. That said, you've had such a long and perilous journey behind you. Like any self-respecting host, I must first propose. Bluff the court fool. Yeah. A smaller figure steps out of the crowd, dressed in the motley attire of a court fool and wearing a sneering mask. My name is Bluff. I am Lord Waldo's good mood. I tickle his governorship with well-spouted jests and itty-bitty gossip. And now I merely doff my cap to our celestial lords and ladies and hand them this here key to Thastra as a token of our boundless loyalty. The fool bows and offers you his gifts. Accept the gift. Thank you, Bluff. Bluff the court fool. The fool parts with his offering and then jumps away with an irritating giggle. Items received. The key to Thassia. Thastra. Bluff the court fool. Being the paragon of grace that he is, would my celestial lord perhaps also deign to feast his ears on the latest Thessarian gossip to go with my gift? Well, tell me your gossip then. Bluff the court fool. Well, slap my grox. Fine then, listen to this. One-eyed terror of the common man went out a-thieving one day. He sneaks into a hut, itching to fill up his sack, and what sees he? A scary big shadow on the floor. He turns around, and right behind him a giant, a monster. With hands like imperial columns, it grabs him by his throat and starts beating the air out of him like he's a ball of dough. Turns out he's popped by Murghast's place, and she used to work the bone mill no worse than 10 men could when she was young. The fellow's been one eye ever since, and who is he glad he's not one arm or one leg? Having finished his nonsensical tale, the fool erupts into a Kebrick, giggling. Abelard, announce the purpose of our visit to these provincials. Abelard clears his throat. His lordship, Valentine von Valancius, inheritor of the great protectorate of the Corona's Expanse and bearer of the sacred warrant, has graced Thasara with his presence in order to discuss matters pertaining to this planet's tithe. Solomon, enough. According to the data protocol, Calixus Cygna UX11-4, this Mu-class planet, type feudal, Astamar rating 1874, with an assigned tithe grade of Solastio Extremis, has not provided its due tithe amount in full. You have violated the Lex and are hereby under investigation. You are to present all related customs reports and shipping manifests immediately. The proctor's voice carries no emotion, and Glalos silently bares his teeth, completing the image of the implacable hand of justice that has arrived on Thasara. Governor Geraldo. Oh, I am most flattered by your attention, esteemed judicator, and by this opportunity to serve the Imperium with even greater dedication than before. Speaking of dedication, we are already conducting a thorough inspection to see which scribe it was that bungled the tithe calculation. Fear not. The scoundrel shall soon be. Solomon. The excuses are the hallmark of the guilty. Do not make your situation worse, Governor. Raldo clasps his hands together and says meekly, Of course, Master Judicator. I will provide you with all the documents as soon as our internal review is complete. I assure you it will not take long, and the report itself will be exhaustive. I believe there's something else the esteemed governor wished to say. Oh, thank you, your celestial highness. We know your journey here must have been an arduous one. As a sign of our appreciation, we have prepared a veritable constellation of enjoyments in your honor. We humbly invite you to taste our amisek, along with our finest dishes. And may you likewise savor some of the local entertainment. One of the court ladies will accompany you so as to not let us even a single word or wish of yours linger without attention. Maeve. Maeve is cute. Look at Maeve. Alright, have fun, Ra. A thin woman emerges into the torchlight, looking at you with a mixture of fear and awe. Her diminutive figure is practically drowning in her velvet and silk dress, and a resplendent necklace of blue stone adorns her neck. Maeve, my celestial lord, at your service. Silvermorn leans closer and says in a lowered voice, based on my experiences, I would say we've been assigned a spy under the pretense of generosity. This is a good thing. We will use this young woman as our source of information about the world. For now, it would be wise to play along and question her thoroughly, once we're away from prying ears. Smile. Relax, Maeve. Just pretend that you're giving a good friend a tour of the place. Maeve smiles sheepishly. I am afraid that's easier said than done, my celestial lord. It'd be like trying to imagine the mighty sun as a tiny ember. But I will do my best not to anger you by acting too nervous. Very well, I'd like to see what this place has to offer. Says Bluff. I can tell by what I'm hearing that our executioner has already lit up the Phasmorphios. The Phasmophorius. Ready to give the condemned a warm welcome, which means the governor's official whisper conductor, that's me, has a whole lot of important business to get to, and yet I must leave you now, good sirs and ladies, lest I missed out on a hot batch of juicy tales. Terribly sorry to meet you all. Honored Judicator. Bluff grasps Solomon's hand and gives it a rigorous shake. Oh, jeez. Before you can even blink, the Cybermaster beside him sinks his teeth into Bluff's forearm, jerking it back and forth with a fury. The attack lasts only for a moment, but when Glido lets go, the fool's limb is already torn to shreds. With a cry of pain, Bluff leaps away and melds into the roiling crowd. Solomon ruffles Glido's neck and turns to you. Feudal worlds are rarely known for their bureaucratic precision. Reconnaissance on the ground will tell us more than any reports hastily scribbled down by these blockheads. I suggest we attend this trial and see how the laws of this planet are enforced. Well, you have plenty of time. First, I will inspect every nook and cranny in this place. I see no reason not to. Who knows what evidence we might discover, or what secrets of her lord that she might share, our guide might share. Solomon gives Maeve an ominous look that makes her shudder timidly. Solomon looks at the throng currently staring at you in wonder and trepidation. So, Celestial Lord, your coming is a historic event for these people. Rest assured, the locals will be watching your every move, and a single word or a careless gesture from you may well transform their lives in this underdeveloped world. Alright. We need to level up your Solomon. Let's see. Attack against familiar have their crit chance reduced by 12%. That's good. We really don't want them taking too much damage. It's up your strength. Up your Medicare. That's good. Protected ally ignores all attacks of opportunity. Very nice. Battle mode terror. Whenever the Cyber Mastiff hits the apprehended enemy or the enemy adjacent to the protected ally, gains +1 to its key characteristics lasts until the end of combat. Sure. Pacification procedures. No. Public sentencing. Whenever an enemy adjacent to the arbitrator fails a willpower resistance test for the first time in a round, that enemy provokes an attack of opportunity from the arbitrator. If multiple enemies fail this test at the same time, it's triggered against one of them randomly. 200 shotguns in one hand. Yes. More strength. More Medicare. Because I think Solomon had an issue with, yeah. Let's see, what do we have for good shotguns here? That's a hunting rifle. We really don't have many good shotguns, do we? Yeah, let's just swap this out so you can have a whole ass shotgun instead of a fucking dinky ass shotgun pistol. And we'll give you a maul in the offhand. Just in case you need to melee shit.
Nunciers don't lag behind.
Alright. The Chronicle of Fates, page 1. The Chronicle of Fates by Gregorius Fault, chapter 1. Let these instructions enlighten all who walk in my footsteps. He that holdeth the key permits none but his most faithful to change their fates. And I, the eminent Gregorius Fate, have no right to fail him. This my present work will describe how a soul becomes purified and the rituals required to prepare it. For its momentous turn of fate, these being things that any servant of he who intends to break the shackles of the former life will have to undergo.
A nice little stroll.
Chronicle of Fates, chapter 2. It befits any servant of his to thank daily the emperor, him that holdeth the key for the lot have given them in life. As I have thanked him with my writings for thousands of moon lives, so too do I thank him now with the fetters that are preparing my soul for its new destiny. The rules of this service are simple. Day after day I reverently carry with me the glass fetters, not daring to break them. Some believe that merely keeping them by one's bedside is enough to perform the sacrament. This is a lie perturbed by those slothful and faint of heart.
Anything to advance the quest for knowledge. Look no further.
Oh, hello. This place is cool, though. I like it. Secret loot.
Smiles on us. An ill omen.
Okay. Secret loot is not secret. There's a fucking mine here somehow.
The Emperor
There we go.
favors me today.
Now towards the secret loot.
Pay attention. Nothing escapes my sight.
So many traps. Holy shit.
I better myself through my service.
That's an immediate level up again.
Duty
Holy shit.
prevails.
The Ebonite Sword. Targets hit with the sword suffer damage a number of static charge stacks equal to damage dealt by the attack. When the creature with those stacks is killed, all creatures adjacent to it, except the wielder, suffer shock damage equal to the number of stacks. That's actually pretty cool. Alright, so let's level everyone up real quick. Chain weapons. When this character uses Drukhari or Eldari melee weapons, weapon damage is calculated using strength instead of agility. Agility instead of strength of agility is greater. Ooh. It's actually pretty useful. What's safety training? Oh, plasma. Okay. Precision, power block. Hmm. Let's see. Dual weapon combat? Yeah, dual weapon combat seems useful. Even if we don't really inherently specialize in combat in general. Target ally of the Master Tactician gains +1 resolve for every 5 stacks of tactical advantage. It seems kind of fine, I guess. Wait, sorry. Fervor. Master Tactician suffers direct damage equal to 20% of their maximum wounds. Gains resolve stacks of tactical advantage and resets the cooldown of Linchpin, Inspire, and Strongpoint. Until the end of the turn, these abilities can only affect themselves. Interesting. So we basically can turn ourselves into the super buffed character version of ourselves. We go from being a support character to being a mainline lead ourselves. That's pretty cool. Let's grab Strongpoint first, though. Alright, so Cautious Approach. I don't think we need that. Arch Militant's next attack this turn will cost 0 IP. It will not count towards the attack limit. Costless abilities are reduced by 1 AP for every... Okay, so we basically just get ourselves an extra attack. Cool. Let's see. Liturgy of Installation? No. Is there anything else we can use with the bolter? It doesn't look like it. Chain weapon. Litany of Hatred. Why not? Call the Bold. Next attack deals additional 7 damage. Target's armor is reduced until the end of combat. Target's armor is below 20%. Their dodge is also reduced until the end of combat. Oh jeez. Yeah, that's just further boss killing shit, basically. Cabela, what do we give you? Lowest priority target. -14. Its melee attack, its target rotates 180 degrees. Dodge and parry becomes 0%. Killing Edge. Killing Edge seems useful. Alright. Bite. Melee dashes. Growl and run. Growl, less damage. One round, Cybermaster Shrews. Yeah, we're going with Bite, I think. Just take down an enemy. And then find work. Yeah, Yugen has so many unique abilities. It's kind of insane. It kind of feels like he's power creeping, like most of the party members, with how much unique shit he has. I'm just really excited for the sequel, focusing on the Inquisition, because it's like the amount of cool, unique powers makes me think that maybe, like, just even base game, we're gonna get a lot with the new setup.
Trivial, as I prognosticated.
Later, heal.
Let's see.
I see what others do not.
Chapter 3? It is Chapter 3. Let's go. Chronicle of Fate, Chapter 3. The sacrament has been performed. I felt the cage open its gates. I felt him that holdeth the key open the lock of my body. At first, I found it hard to breathe. It was as though the inside of my body was lined with vice that was not my own. My mind's confusion, I cannot tell what moon life it is, or which chapter of this book I am currently writing, but the greatest one is all-knowing, and every turn of fate has been chosen by him in advance. Thus, if my new fate tries to resist me, I shall bring it to heel.
I'll check the perimeter.
As we approach, the nobles bow gracefully. Their Sunan faces are wrapped tightly around their skulls, and their eyes gleam with earnest subservience. One dares to address you. O celestial lord, grace us with your regard. When my brother and I heard of your arrival, we immediately sought to surprise you with an exceptional gift. Oh? Young nobleman, the ancient scrolls tell of a wonder, a mechanical sage by the name of Kagakor. He knows the answers to all questions, can make their machines do its bidding, and may even predict the future. My brother and I have borne many a hardship, but we managed to acquire this magic contraption for our most cherished guest. The box in front of you, presumably the Kagakor they speak of, exudes a strong odor of ritual oils. Made of thin planks, it is covered in so many purity seals that it seems to be held together by them alone. A stack of flimsy, rough paper lies atop it, and there is a mica paddle with malachite buttons attached to the front. A thin slit is visible among the buttons. Abloyd sighs heavily and leans over to you. Sometimes, when information reaches more backwards worlds, it undergoes strange metamorphosis in the minds of the unfortunate, regrettably parochial laypeople. Have mercy, Lord Captain. They probably have been trying to please you. Yogan gleefully throws his hands in the air. Nuncius, witness the act of creating a primitive technological idol. Please record everything carefully. This is a unique opportunity to observe how a creature deprived of the Omnissiah's light attempts to interpret his design. Listen to the sounds coming from the box. There's barely audible breathing coming from the box. Whoever is inside wants very much to not be noticed. Glydo stalks towards the box and buries his fang, while Solomon frowns grimly at the device. Really? Then again, what else could you expect from this ignorant world? Unseal the box and let this poor soul out at once. Who? What's poor soul? I do not... The young nobleman addressing you withers under the scathing gaze of his partner. Grey-haired nobleman. As you command, my celestial lord, forgive us. We wished only to delight you by reproducing an otherworldly miracle we had read about in an ancient chronicle. You're nothing but a pair of dim-witted lickspittles, but mere stupidity hardly warrants an execution. Get out of my sight. We did not mean to offend. We only wish to please. Examine the horses. The horses neigh and glance at you with extreme curiosity. One of them snorts playfully. Okay.
The Omnissiah guides me.
Doggo. Good job. Bloody Sacrament. Area attacks with a small created smoke cloud. All creatures that enter this area must pass toughness, strength, and willpower resistance tests with a negative 52 penalty. Damn.
The machine god was benevolent to me. Of course, rogue trader.
Ballistic skill.
Never doubt me.
Blacksmiths have somehow managed to forge shells and casings. These do not belong on a feudal world, but there's no doubt as to what they are.
I woke up with a feeling of wonder. As if a
Every order I get, it's for these thimbles again. What do they even need them for at the governor's court? No.
1,000 heretics were burning alive, begging and sobbing and howling.
Here, Solomon. Do you have a shield? Or do we have a second shield we can give you? I don't think we do we? No, it doesn't look like it. Would it be classified as armor? It wouldn't. Oh, wait, it would. Alright. Alright. And I just realized with Shotgun Mastery, I could technically have Abelard dual wield a two-handed shotgun and then also dual wield. I know you have to be an Arbiter to have it, but imagine dual wielding a two-handed shotgun in one hand and then a greatsword in the other hand. That'd be so fucking overpowered.
Withholds his favor.
Someone disfigured the corpse's face and threw the body off of the parapet.
Light of terror, guide our way.
Who's there? The Celestial Lord himself. You shouldn't have come here. Why not? Fates become tangled in this place and phases change. Who knows if by nightfall you won't have lost yourself. Ooh. Just a piece of advice. Beware the shimmering blue or else you'll end up like Gorgeous Fault. Hmm.
Diverting motive force to anti-grav generators.
Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge. Unexpected result.
Why did it say there's only a 5% chance to successfully open a gate? I refuse to believe that was real. Like, I'm pretty sure that was just a visual glitch or something. Alright, so let's see.
Looking for possible threats.
Stellar. Right. Let's see.
I'm on my way.
Another thing we can climb up. A lot of parkouring in this medieval civilization for some reason. Let's see. Chapter 0406. I am impure, my body is impure. Vital fluids not my own are stirring within me, as though wood-boring beetles were digging their filthy tunnels through my frame. I must destroy this vice, I must squeeze it out. It is customary to replace an old vessel, and I have replaced my rotten cage with chambers of gold, yet I still feel filthy. For if the contents are spoiled, and not merely the shell, then what can be done to achieve redemption? My face is burning, a borrowed face, a weak face. I must take off the fetters of my skin and cleanse this inner side of vice. Take it away, O Emperor. Take it away and give me a new cage. Okay. It kind of overt. A little bit. We're kind of blatantly dealing with Zinch here. Just a little bit. Surprising, I know.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Wait.
Compared
I think
to
there's
naval
more.
service, that was barely a challenge.
Can we get over here? We can. Cool. Judging by the deep scratches, there used to be a makeshift bridge here. If you put something in place, you can try and get to the next roof. No doubt this piece of iron is sturdy enough, but it is woefully short for a bridge. Perhaps a sheet of iron could easily reach the other side of the roof, but it is unlikely to hold a person's weight.
I'm on lookout.
Despite the gaps, the metal lattice looks both sturdy and long enough. Make a bridge.
Experience. Nothing matters more.
See? Right there.
Ow. Okay, both failed. Big explosions. Assault armor. That's actually pretty nice. Whenever the warrior starts their turn with no enemies in a 3-cell radius, they gain +4 MP and do not provoke attacks of opportunity. Plus 10% armor if you do. Honestly, that seems just really good. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone is realistically going to be wearing it. Wait, no. Yeah, our protagonist can wear that, I think.
Onward.
expected result.
Don't mock me, Lucius. You
The last Trax's ribs are heaving, thick saliva dripping from their long tongues. These creatures must be terribly thirsty in this hot evening. The last Trax's augmentics are just as rusty and in sore need of service, but the creature looks far worse than the rest. Gaunt and weak, almost miserable, the beast looks up at you with glazed eyes as you approach. On the door, you notice a scrawled sign that reads Animal Number 4. Don't feed. This same number is burned onto the skin of the Blasterax. Examine it. A quick inspection is enough to determine the cause of the problem. Some of the Blasterax's augments are clearly not working properly. The muscles near the energy conduits are twitching, as if the machine spirits in their fury were torturing the beast. It is surprising that only this last track shows such signs of torment, considering the other poor state of the augmentics, the other cyber beasts here. Seldom one. I've seen Glido convulse like that when his augments were malfunctioning. Saruman says and adds a sudden anger. I doubt the local half-wits have the first clue about maintaining implants. They should have struck to shovels and left the beast alone. Try the augmentic. Try to reach your hand inside to get to the augmentic, but the cage's bars force you to withdraw. Unlock the cage. You're unfamiliar with the operation of the mechanical lock, but that does not stop you from disabling it. The cage door opens with a creak, however, the beast inside shows no reaction. Now you repair it. You find the issue and fix it with ease. One of the circuits is broken, possibly damaged in a fight with other beasts. When you are done with the repairs, you are hit with a realization. There's now nothing between you and this huge predator. With a flash of its visors, the beast begins to turn slowly towards the exit. For a brief moment, you find yourself only meters away from a monstrosity whose jaws could snap a person in two. It hisses in your face. Suddenly, you see something moving out of the corner of your eye. A world of skirts, a pale figure. With a small shriek, Maeve throws herself between you and the snarling beast. Off with you! Get away from my lord! Step away, Maeve. This is an order. The young woman casts a desperate glance at you and is on the verge of saying something, but never musters the urge to protest. She meekly steps aside. The silent duel with the Blasterax lasts only a moment, but feels like an eternity. Finally, with a beleaguered snarl, the beast dashes away without laying even a claw on its liberator. Alright. Solomon gives you a nod of respect. Not only did you deal with the augment, you also made a deadly beast recognize your authority with a single glance. Although I cannot help but wonder about the repercussions of this jailbreak.
Lucius, don't lag behind.
Oh god, the fucking sculptor.
I am at your service.
Oops, that's not good. Let me check, make sure that didn't fuck that up. Nope, it's fine. Okay, cool. Sculptor's mechanical hands crawl over the rough stone, their many-jointed metal fingers maintaining a constant motion. Even now, you recognize your own features on the unfurnished piece. It seems someone commissioned a statue of you the moment you set foot on the planet. The old man turns his worried face towards you, and you see crystals where his eyes should be. Is my celestial lord here to gaze upon his destiny? Alas, my creation is not yet complete. Your hand augmentics are most impressive. Such implants are impossible to come by on a feudal world. Where are you from? Lord Ronaldo had my limbs replaced before he took me from my home planet. It was so long ago, I have since forgotten what my land is like to the touch. Sorry, I am really tired for some reason. Ugh. I'm not even sure why. I have nice sugary iced tea. I got a full 8 hours of sleep. I shouldn't be this fucking tired, but I'm like passing the fuck out here. It's weird. Hey, I need to go back to the hospital. I'm not sure what's wrong with my health that I just keep being so tired all the time suddenly. Well, I mean, it's probably might be the constant lack of sleep and eating, but you know. Today, at least, I slept an appropriate amount of time. The sculptor's mechanical arms are pierced by sticky tubes, and the elbow joints have all been worn down. It must have been decades since the implants were last serviced. Such neglect often poses a serious threat to a person's life. And yet, the old man's skin looks relatively healthy in the spots where flesh and metal meet. This man appears to belong to a rare variety of psychers, biomancers capable of recovering from even otherwise deadly wounds and diseases. Can you tell me about this material you're working with? This is Sacertium, a fascinating stone born from the bowels of this planet. Like any other kind, it bends and melts beneath the sculptor's tools. But for the sculptor to come to life in earnest, they must put their very soul into it. One of his hands emerges from behind the statue and gently touches his head, seemingly of his own volition. The soul, however, obtains calluses the more the sculptor works, and mine has long since become covered in scabs. Did you capture the governor's identity in sculpture too? His mouth stretches in a cryptic smile. I have made thousands of statues for Geraldo, but Thessaria's stone flesh can never seem to sate his great ambitions. I'm here to look at a sculpture. What does my destiny have to do with it? When I sculpt, your celestial highness, I see people's destinies in the forms I create. The visions that come to me shape not only the stone but the person's face as well. Your image was indistinct when it first appeared. Before me, my work is not yet done. What do you wish to behold? The glorious deeds of my future. Sculptor hands scuttle over the stone like huge metal spiders. Somehow, his sightless gaze emanates the exact version of you that you wish to see. Your destiny will soon be complete, my lord. I shall have it delivered to your starfaring vessel. Glory yet to come. Your very life's past has been carved into stone. Images of your future deeds are distracting you from the here and now, but someday these fantasies will become reality. Reduces the character's fellowship until the end of mission on Thesra. Welcome back. Sorry, I'm suddenly passing out again. Like I didn't feel very tired until like just a little bit ago, but suddenly I'm just like struggling really badly. Good. Why? Like, I was able to handle a whole 10-hour stream yesterday without any difficulties, and then today it's like all of a sudden I'm just blah. Just blah. Right. The old sculptor once more turns his unseeing gaze to the patterns in the stone behind you. The old sculptor once more turns his unseeing gaze to the patterns of the stone behind him, before him. Sorry, I'm having a lot of trouble.
Whatever you wish.
Fuck. So we're gonna be debuffed for this entire planet because of that decision. Hey, Glido, what you looking at? God. Oh, hey, lobotomized humans becoming living instruments. That's not horrific at all. Sorry, I think I need to go past that. I don't know why, but I'm just I'm not sure what's going on these last few days. But I'm just having such a hard time staying conscious for more than a few hours. It's really weird. Except for yesterday. Yesterday was fine. I was able to stay awake all day, but I don't know. Literally just... Wait. He gave me a second win. I'm good now. Okay. I think I actually need more sugar. Armor of Iron Will. Whenever the wearer blocks an attack, all adjacent creatures must pass a toughness resistance test or suffer 1 stack of perplexed. Ooh. That's actually really useful for you, specifically. Yeah, let's equip that. Now we can fix the lift.
Wisdom's a catalyst for knowledge. I possess both.
Let's new Mondan. Feel like another 10-hour stream? No. I'll be honest with you. That 10-hour stream was a lot of fun. Okay? It was. It was also, I think, like, the most successful stream we've ever had. By a lot. Like, there's so many people. It was active. It was productive. It was entertaining. Like, I think, like, I remember refreshing Twitch, like, an hour after the stream ended, too. And it was, like... The VOD still on Twitch had, like, 140 views. Like, near instantly. And it was, like, absurd. It was just like, what the fuck? But, streaming for an extra 5 hours basically meant that, like... The 10-hour stream basically took my entire day. Like, I had to go to bed at, like, 3 a.m. because all of the other shit I had to get done, all of the fucking videos I had to upload and everything, the food I had to eat and everything, it just ended up eating significantly into my bedtime. I think in the future, if I had to do like another long stream like that, I would have to start it significantly earlier in the day. Just because, like, I'll just, if I do it at the normal time, I just lose, like, all of my time. I can't do anything else that day. Though, to be fair, it is pretty hard to, like, conveniently slot a 10-hour activity into a productive day. Why not just do an additional stream on Wednesday? Because I wanted to make up for the content that I was missing, like, efficiently. Saying, like, oh, I'll just do an extra bonus stream next week felt a little too delayed for me, I think. But I think that would have been the more practical option instead of a 10-hour stream. But that said, again, right? Doing that 10-hour stream, while it did have a lot of inconveniences, I think that was our best stream we've ever done up to this point. That was a big good stream. A lot of people showed up. High viewership, high chat interaction, a lot of cool moments, clips. Shit happened. Great stream. You see a man with a cruel grimace on his face and hands disfigured with burn marks. Behind him stands a ghastly-looking mechanism adorned with a polished skull of gigantic proportions. The eye sockets, their edges melted, gaze darkly at the crowd with the promise of inevitable punishment. The man, clearly an executioner, bows his head. The very messengers of the sky have come to decide our fate. We are honored, Your Celestial Highness. Who are you? Hadra the Scorched. A slaughterman of the 5th generation, and the humble disciple of the Iron Saint you see before you, Your Celestial Highness. Okay, here's the thing, okay? If your civilization has an executioner, that's not inherently a bad thing, okay? If your executioner of your civilization is called a slaughterman, that's not good. You immediately do not want that. Maeve. Master Tadua knows no mercy, and his hand is unfailingly firm in the sacred cause of administrating justice. Maeve is careful to keep her posture straight, but her frightened gaze is deliberately averted from both the executioner and the mechanism behind him. Oh god. What is that structure? Tadua the Scorched. This instrument of punishment is a personification of the great Phesmophius the Martyr, who accompanied the legendary feat of slaying 300 heretics. As in glorious tradition, all mutants who affront the Emperor's gaze and stay in the face of Thessaria must enter the Saint's iron embrace. Whenever justice is served, hundreds flock to the Prometheoria, eager to witness the flagellant spectacle. Solomon, you have just confessed that your semblance of justice serves not as a demonstration of lawful authority and deference to your subjects, but as entertainment. Solomon utters the last word with disgust, as if there could be no fouler profanity. Who's inside right now? Another heretic who violated the holy laws of Thessera. And since his body is already turning to ash, such will be the fate of his name as well, not to be scattered to the winds, that it may never again defile the lips of any who live upon our sacred world. Maeve, never again defile the lips. Maeve looks ready to faint. She seems both terrified and nauseated by the sacred rite that has drawn on many onlookers. The law of the Imperium punishes those who deserve it. What was the last of the... Was that the last of the accused for the day? Tadro the Scorched. That was but one of the first bodies set to stoke the Phasma Orpheus. It is going to get a lot busier now. As if to confirm the man's words, a fire-breathing saint expels a puff of acrid smoke. While the guilty are being reduced to ashes, let us meet the next participants of our performance. I'm immediately tired again. What the fuck is going on? I literally just had a big gulp of like a sugary drink. And I'm already it's already worn off. What the shit, man? Two people or something, resembling people, are pushed onto the stage. They are mutants, hideous parodies of humanity, forever tainted by the imperfections of the flesh. One of them is dressed in stained yet expensive clothes. The other wears a tattered uniform of the local guards. Your Celestial Highness, behold, two loathsome heretics who blemish the very face of Thasura with their existence. Tadua chuckles, but his sneer is completely devoid of mirth. The degree of their guilt may vary, but they both deserve to enter the blazing bowels of the Phasmorpheus for the worst of their transgressions, distorting the sacred face of humanity. But since fate has graced us with such lofty visitors, I eagerly cede the right to punish these miscreants to you, your Celestial Highness. Contrary to his honeyed words, the executioner's voice betrays his poorly concealed displeasure. What do you mean by the degree of their guilt may vary? Pedro fixes you with a fanatical stare. One of them, despite being one of the highest lords of Thasura, spat on our world's customs by refusing to alter his destiny. The other did change his fate, even though he was just lowborn, wallowing in the mud. What in the Lux's name did I just hear? Solomon raises his voice slightly, indicating that the usually impassive arbitrator is profoundly indignant. I normally have no trouble passing judgment. In this case, I don't even know where to start. What was the opulently dressed mutant's crying? Tadro the Scorched. Ah, rotten stain upon the noble families. He was hiding in his manner to conceal his deformities, but had trouble keeping his mouth shut. He spread corruption among the minds of the courtiers, cast aspirations on the traditions of the world, was insolent, swore profanity. Luckily, he has no heirs, and today this accursed bloodline will put to rest once and for all. The richly garbed mutant moaned something. You notice stitches on his disfigured face. The overzealous servants were evidently in a hurry to silence the condemned man early and sewed his twisted mouth shut. Oh, God. What monstrous cruelty to sew a man's mouth shut. Take those stitches out immediately. Eager to please you, Tadro carries out the order, but his work is far from gentle. The condemned man groans and chokes in pain as the executioner pulls the threads from his flesh. Mutant nobleman Q, with his mouth oozing blood, the mutant is unlikely to say much more. What did the mutant in the guard's uniform do? Let me cut the stream short. I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try not to. I mean, we're already like 3.5 hours in. We technically just need to make it another hour and a half, and then I can go and flop onto bed and pass out. I'll try and stay awake. A thief, a brigand, and a murderer. There's no way to list all the crimes lying upon this freak's conscience. However, his willingness to change his destiny against all odds merits this mutant at least some honor. Despite his feeble-mindedness and simplicity, he had enough sense to obscure his countenance with hoods and helmets, until he made his way from beggar to guard. It was not long before his excessive passion for fighting and stabbing gave him away. The mutant utters a foul curse beneath his breath that immediately gives you a frightened look and falls silent. The mere sight of the celestial lord seems to instill a reverent awe in the common denizens of Thastra. You praise the low-born mutant despite the vicious acts he has committed. Tedra the Scorched. They are both mutants that have been thereby violated his laws. Yet when one finds a spoke of nobility in the abject commoner, one cannot help but feel a grain of respect for them. This heretic may be of low birth, but he does not flout the values of Thastra the way the nobleman does, and thus honors our traditions and his will. Born into the rabble, he applied all of his abilities and skills, defied the restraints placed upon him, and crushed those who stood in his path, all in order to forge a new destiny for himself. Forge a new destiny. Solomon repeats slowly with an undertone of utter disbelief at what he's hearing. Even you, a degenerate, should know a man is bound to serve the God Emperor's plan from birth, that any attempt to change that is a violation of his will. What do you say, Maeve? Which of these two deserves to die? Maeve's gaze darts fearfully around while visibly avoiding the doomed mutants on the platform. I am of too low a birth to take on the burden of being a judge, my celestial lord. I am ready to announce my decision. The word of a distinguished guest is law. We are all trembling with anticipation. Maeve seems to have reined in the emanations that were overtaking her, and she casts a timid glance at you as she waits the verdict. Let me think here. Neither of these people really actually seem like they did anything wrong. They're just mutants, but neither of them seem like... How do I put this? Neither of them seem like they were born this way. It seems like it might have been inflicted upon them. Let them both go. The excitement in Tadra's eyes fades away. A merciful decision, your celestial highness. Savor the gift of freedom bestowed upon us by the holder of the key to all destinies and by his messenger. Begone, you disgusting spawn. Bluff the court fool. Oh, what clamor! I'll wager they heard the sound of the poor slaughterman's heart breaking all the way on the other end of Thasera. The Ditto the Scourged. And now, my favorite word. Next. A pale, bony creature, barely able to move its legs, enters the stage. In place of a mask, it turns a horrible medley of features towards the world. This ugliness, however, is nothing like that of the previous convicts. 1 second. The thin, squeamishly twisted mouth is fused to the cheekbones. Malicious eyes peer into the crowd from under hideous folds of skin. The face of this heretic appears to have melted and congealed. Oh, jeez. What is this heretic guilty of? The executioner does not answer right away, but makes you wait for a moment. His crime is more grievous than any the scaffold has ever seen. He was granted a new identity, but chose to defy it. He turned away from the greatest gift that can be offered to the loyal sons and daughters of Thasera. Maddened mutant. The wretched man's gaze drifts over the crowd until his piercing eyes meet yours. His head twitches, his face contorting in a monstrous grimace. Shut up before it gets in. He whispers in a sudden fury. I won't give up. I won't give it up. I won't. Oh, no, no, no. We didn't come here for you to stay quiet. Squeal now and squeal louder. The crowd takes up the fool's outburst and begins demanding more screams. Camilla whispers without taking her eyes off the condemned man. You're not the master of your own shadows. The shadows reign over you. You alone while they are marinate. But why? Awareness 95%. Where's that blasted court fool? You glance at the crowd and suddenly see the fool prancing and flitting among the gawkers, clearly trying not to be spotted by you. Shoot bluff for his insolence. A shot rings out and a deafening shriek rises from the throng of people. You catch sight of the badly wounded fool disappearing into the crowd. Maeve cries out in horror and immediately clasps her mouth with both hands, trying to lock her voice inside. What happened to his face? Is he another mutant? I genuinely don't know why this is happening. Like, I'm not sure if it's just because like I didn't get much sleep last night, or if it's because I haven't been taking good care of my health recently, or what, but I'm just really having a hard time staying awake this weekend. It's weird. Maybe I should just... I'm just thinking... I should use Monday to Wednesday to really make sure that I, like, properly reset and maintain my sleep schedule. Tedwood the Scorched. Thessarian fever. You need not worry, your celestial highness, that it's not contagious. Enough deaths, let him go. As Thaddeus opens his mouth to say something, the convict takes a step on clumsy, spindly legs, and another one. The face! The face! Pretty, strong, shining. A gnarled claw points directly at you. Give it here. Give it to me now instead of the one I bear. Take mine. It is not mine. Take it. Take it. Take it. Oh. What the fuck? The madman raises his crooked fingers to his face and sinks his nails into his sagging flesh. Shrieking with what sounds like relief, he tears off a piece of his cheek, and then another, and then one more. Falling to his knees, he frantically scratches his own eyes out, smearing blood and clear ichor across his face before collapsing dead on the platform. A sudden rumble draws your attention, like a rock fall tumbling down the slope. The thudding of feet and mad screams overwhelms you. After a moment, you see the source of the commotion. A throng of mutants is charging straight at you. Well, the Slaughterman's dead. Alright, we got some knights, so that's cool. I gotta tell you, can take the side over there. Cabela. Let's see. I think you can take the left side. Then Valentine, you can go over here. Take cover. Abelard. Guard the right. Silverboard. You can also help in the left. Glido. Move forward. EO gun. EO gun. There you go. And then Nuncius.
Emperor, protect me.
I've suffered worse.
I can't stand it.
Alright. Now we're gonna wanna come over here. Buff Cabela. Give her an extra turn. Oh, good.
Trust me.
Stab.
Caught by the web.
Play dense. Oh, fuck. Poor Glido. Break the ranks.
My blade whispers your name.
Okay, that thing is nearly dead. Let's just finish him off.
Arbitrators are made of plasteel.
I'll do what it takes.
Oh, these are all suicide bombers. That's not good. Alright.
Gift.
These were all suicide bombers.
Recommended.
I did not realize that when we took such a defensive position. Yeah, okay, most of our party's instantly dead. Okay. Neo gun. Give me old wamp.
Time to redouble our speed down.
Gate.
We're at a tactical disadvantage.
Okay, that triggers. Okay, I am not. Right. Brain.
Cleanses the
Come on, you gotta think here. Okay. Well, it's looking like we just lose. So goes Cyberpunks, bro. Okay, well, all the guards are dead. Stealing more mods? Jeez. That's crazy.
Emperor, protect me. I can handle this.
What sort of mods are you downloading? Okay, Argenta's doing decently at least. Okay, let's out of that part. Anyway.
Princess, I'm enraged.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she got knocked down, so she didn't really get any chance to move. Alright, I get to
Joyce in
run.
battle.
Nope. Okay, we just all die. Cool. Quick hacks, apartment tweaks, carve now. I gotcha. Alright, let's try that again.
Machine God was benevolent to me.
This elevator is very slow. There we go. Let's hack the chest real quick. Let's just skip. We already know how this is gonna go. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let them both go. Let him go. Yeah, guy rips out his face. It's a shame. I mean, it makes sense why, but it's a shame there's no like co-op for Cyberpunk. Alright, so considering that our primary threat is just suicide bombers, we're just gonna move everyone into the back area. Because their goal is now no longer about just, you know, dying, but more, or isn't about initiating, but more about just not dying. To giant hordes of fucking suicide bombers. It would be. Alright, Cabela, I believe in you.
I am your
Go slip in.
shield.
Cover everything in blood.
Honor ordains. Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
Killing brings me no pleasure. I shall not fail.
There we go.
The shadows will see.
Let's see.
As honor ordains.
How the fuck did they parry that? Oh, whatever.
I'll do what it takes.
Fuck.
Emperor, protect me. I can't stand it.
Yep, fuck. It's alright. Let's see. Cabela, Smacky Wackies. There you go.
Trust me. As honor ordains.
And from here, let's swap to this.
I feel nothing.
Take the shot.
Fear nothing.
Let's see. How do we get the dog over? I should just tell it over apprehend.
Mark the target.
Good enough. There we go. What's the difference between these two? Oh. It's just better. Yeah. True.
You have a job to do, Glato. Let's test our skills, Glato.
Okay. And as for you, swap to your heavy bolter real quick. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. I'd like to point out that the guards aren't considered truly friendly, they're just considered neutral. Okay. Fierce Recital, give me that damage out. Piercing Shot. Rapid Fire.
The Emperor commands, I act.
And let's just mode out as many as we can.
Each strike is a prayer.
Okay, that was decent.
I'll do
Okay,
it.
you can be a mutant, or you can be prey. You can be prey. And Suicide Bomber can be prey.
For the weak.
And we activate Wild Hunt.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go to sleep after this fight. I keep passing out. I keep passing out for like a few moments, then just waking back up again. It's not good. Alright. Confident approach.
Indeed.
Go take out the Suicide Bomber.
Target well struck. It will be done. Ha-ha! An
Okay.
It will be done.
Then Eogun, I want you. Where is that ability? I guess you can't realistically do it, huh?
A perilous but
Yeah, just shoot that guy.
excursion.
Why is the VOD gonna be funny? Gate.
A valid argument.
There you go.
Your demise is an incontrovertible fact.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's see.
Faith without deeds is worthless. I'll do it.
Rapid fire.
As the
Piercing
Emperor
shot.
commands, I act.
You
I'll
can
do
be
it.
prey. Controlled shot. That all allies dodge automatically. You can be prey. You can also be prey.
Commands, I act. Guided by faith.
That should be good.
For you, my emperor.
And then we move up here. We should be able to. Yeah, there we go.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart. I'll do it.
Just start shooting. Okay, that was 112 damage in one bullet. That was genuinely insane for no reason.
As the Emperor commands, I for you, my Emperor. Faith without deeds is worthless.
Hopefully it wasn't that bad. Hopefully I wasn't passing it that often. I couldn't actually tell you that. I'm not
Command.
particularly certain about how conscious I've been.
Astute observation.
As the Emperor commands,
Kaboom.
this is why I was chosen.
The lad go kaboom. Ooh, firebomb. Hmm.
As the tenants demand. Trust me, I will not die in dishonor. I shall not fail. shadows will let your soul be purged. This goes against the trust me. An offering of blood.
Yay. Dead.
As honor ordains.
Him with the old get him over here thing. I think they do. I don't know, man.
What is done cannot be undone.
Yeah.
Moving into position.
Hmm.
One of us would be enough.
I will bathe this battlefield
Alright.
in righteous fury.
Slightly awkward. Abelard, please kill.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. An exemplary strike. No matter the cost.
Kick.
Reduced to dust.
There we go. Okay, I need to
What
go.
advice do you seek?
Governor Raldo, Your Celestial Highness, apologies for my late arrival. I waited a great deal of time in idle squabbles with that oaf of a treasurer as he was looking at the shipment chronicle. Only heard about the attack after it had already begun, and the elevator might as well have not been moving at all. It was so slow. The treasurer, the governor. Who are you going to blame next? Are you the true ruler of this world or a casual onlooker? You'll take measure immediately and restore order. I will conclude that you are sabotaging the rogue trader's visit, either by intent or simply due to your own ineptness. The governor babbles in fear. I never thought. He takes a deep breath. The culprits, of course, the culprits will his execution post haste, my celestial lord. An oppressive silence hangs over the previously bustling plaza. The people are taking in the carnage, peculiarly avoiding looking at you, but still catching your eye every word. You notice Maeve standing nearby, gazing around her with horror in her eyes. Find those responsible and bring them to me. The condemned mutant broke loose and attacked the townsfolk. It's been a long time since anything like this happened, Your Celestial Highness. They must have sniffed out that today is a special day. The executioner's lip curls split apart by a blow during the fight. The commander was responsible for guiding them. He got careless. Commander Lucra, his armor rattling, one of the knights steps forward. I am Lucra, commander of the fortress. I can attest that the ungodly mutants were restrained properly. It's the Phasmophorius, the smoke put the brutes into a frenzy. My celestial lord, I swore on my life and the nights that I did everything we could to keep you safe. Who could have foreseen that the Phasmophorius, after gorging itself on miscreants, would start driving the mutants mad with its smoke? Thaddeus, Lies. The Phasmorius does not taunt heretics, it fills them with terror. To shift the blame for your own failure onto the sacred weapon of justice is the heinous crime in and of itself. Yeah, execute the executioner. There's no change in Solomon's expression as he performs the execution. Tattoo of the Scorch expires without making a sound. You are a savior today, your celestial highness, and in gratitude, please accept this personalized sword from my treasury, Fatebringer. Once decided, fuck. I didn't realize I was clicking on anything. You look at Maeve, have just stepped off and received proper bearing. Maeve stares off into space, but chakra lips pressed firmly, and her back is impeccably straight. Celebration's over. Not in the least, not in some beast ruin everything we have worked so hard to prepare. I suggest we distance ourselves from the place and return to our corner of revelry and peace, and by your leave, I will be waiting for you at the bead table. Your oh God, out for give me strength. It amazes me that that idiot just underpaid the tithe and did not somehow lose the whole planet as well. Silvermorn pauses, pensively watching the governor leave. Fine, a feast it is. I am sick of the stench of burnt meat. Let's try a change of scenery. There is a lot of post-fight dialogue about nothing of any immediate importance that did not need to be part of post-fight dialogue, I'm noticing. Maeve, her face pale, Maeve raises a hand. My celestial lord, it is only a few steps away. The noble lords are already lifting their glasses in their savior's honor. Awaiting your arrival, shall we proceed? No, don't force me into another cutscene. Thank you. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go pass out. Sorry. I hope everyone has a nice day.